Quite the display of destruction. And to think, only the two of us could pull off something like this. I wonder where they could be. I see. Well, look at you. At any other time, you would simply move the debris off of you by now. Well, aren't you going to struggle this time? No use. Well, this is certainly new. What happened to all that self-confidence you always wore? That hope you always bolstered around the people? Not this time, Here, let me just... There you are. At least now you'll be able to breathe a little better. I can see it now. That look in your eyes. It's over, isn't it? You know, it's funny when you think about it. You hear all these tales about a hero always stopping a villain and saving the day. Or in some cases, the death of the villain themselves. But that's not the case here, is it? No, I'm not going to put you out of your misery. I still need a moment to soak in the fact that this is the reality for you and I. Besides, no one else is here. The pain must be unbearable, but it's nothing compared to dying alone. So, I'll do something good for once, and sit here with you. I know. I'm the worst. That's the point, isn't it? If not, why would we even bother fighting each other? Actually, hold that thought if you still can. I'll come back to that. So, you must be wondering why I'm wasting my time with you in your final moments. It's complicated, to say the least. I'm sure most evildoers, if they were in my shoes, would be leaping for joy at the moment. But not me. I don't feel joy. If anything, I feel regret. Turmoil, even. A turmoil that will eventually evolve into emptiness. I cannot deny that I have brought this upon myself, but I'd be a fool if I didn't accept that. There is one thing you must understand. I did this. I knew where this was going whenever I started this. And even though I don't know where I'll be at the end of this, I know where my end goal is. Whether I get the chance to accomplish it or not is for fate to decide. And today, it seems fate has decided this is where our eternal struggle ends. Like I said earlier, I should be overjoyed about this, but I'm not. Perhaps there's a reason why. My main source of happiness was destroyed long ago. Every day, I still think about them every day. How can I not? There's no need to apologize. As you should already know by now, I won't accept it. It's not easy for a parent to bury their romantic partner and their child. I still wonder why. Why, out of all those people, why them? What did they ever do to anyone or anything? Did they truly deserve to leave this living realm before I did? And, adding to that fact, you couldn't save them in time. You were too busy with another villain from No Rogues Gallery. You remember, right? When we were locking eyes as I was holding the two beings I loved most in this world in my arms. And and I'm sure you felt it. The weight of guilt on those almighty shoulders of yours. Even back then, you knew. You knew this would not be the last time we crossed paths. When we met again for the first time, I was ready for you. I studied everything I needed to know about you, and you still have yet to know anything about me. Out of all those villains, I was the only one who knew how to gain a handle on you. The powers didn't matter. What matters was I knew that I could put you in your place, ground you back to earth, hurt you, just like how you hurt me. And yet, that was the thing I couldn't help but wonder. Why? Why does it still hurt? Now that I think about it, I'm not the only one you failed to save, am I? No, of course not. I just happen to be the worst. The one that would come back to haunt you more than anyone else. I bet it kept you up all night long, wondering when you went wrong. Don't feel too bad. It happens to me too. Even in your weakened state, you continually insist an apology will fix this. This may dishearten you to hear this, but it won't. It never will. They say you'll get over it. It's all a part of life. But I've never gotten over it. Not yet, at least. And you know, it terrifies me to no end, knowing that I may never get over it. It's funny. We've been doing this for years, and this is the only time you've ever agreed with me at the most. Just what is it you seek? Some form of comfort, redemption, acceptance, or maybe, just to buy time. Some heroes they must be. They're taking their sweet time just to come save you. And yet you waste no time in returning the favor to them. Truly ungrateful hypocrites. If it makes you feel any better, I get the same kind of treatment all the time. In my field, your allies aren't allies. Not unless they can get something out of you, or worse, leave you to perish so they can save their own necks. No one cares about the bad guys. They'll care once they hear about their funeral arrangement, but that'll be more of a celebration than anything. But not you. When you pass on, and judging by that fleeting look in your eyes, you will. They'll all gather around, all your family and loved ones. All your friends and teammates, all the people you saved, and the strangers who believed in you and are still believing in you, even after you're gone. They'll be there, shedding tears, sending condolences, planting memorials. You, my friend, you will go down as a legend. You will be remembered, while I am not. There's no need for pity. True, How could you forget a face like mine? Yes, I remember the day when I showed you it was me. The real me. That reaction. Your face was filled with such horror and shock upon the realization. I could never forget. Why did I do that, exactly? The face reveal? Well, the reason seems silly, but I wanted to show you that it was more than just a costume. It was a choice. A choice that I had willingly made. So when the path revealed itself, there was nothing else left for me to do other than follow it. The mask and costume mean nothing if you're not willing to accept the dangers and horrors that it brings. You would know something about that, wouldn't you? So, when you decided to be the hero that you are now, it was a choice. With that being said, I must ask, do you regret it now? I feel as though you're lying, but then again, you're not the type of person to lie like that. Do I regret this? I'm sure you already know the answer to that. You don't need to hear my answer. To be honest, I'm still contemplating it myself. Well, back to the topic. Since this seems to be the end, there is one more thing I've always wondered about. It seems you read my mind. You know who I am, but I could never figure out who you are. I've come close many times, but in the end, I never came up with one single answer. So I must know who's behind that mask. May I? Good. But even if you didn't agree, I still would have done it anyway. You. It was you all this time. I never would have thought. I guess this brings a whole new meaning to personal business, I suppose. What do you mean it's not too late? No, don't give me that. It was too late when I lost everything that day. How could you try and tell me that? My wife and child were everything to me. What else do I have left? Despite everything, you still have hope for me, don't you? Yeah, always have. What? You shouldn't forgive me so easily. Do I forgive you? I guess. Wow. What do you know? Looks like they finally got off their butts and done something useful. Isn't that exciting? Hey. Wait. No pulse. I see. I guess you held out just long enough for one last conversation. Now that I know the truth, I guess I have a lot to think about. The sirens are getting closer, which means it's time for me to leave. But before I do, don't worry about your sidekick. I'll make sure they become just as great of a hero as you were, even if it costs me my life. I'll keep them safe, only to be sure they get a chance to avenge you and end me, finally putting an end to this vicious cycle we started.